It's a race for true specialists, with its narrow roads, cobblestone hills and never-ending changes of direction. This Belgian classic only crowns a highly talented rider. The peloton has caught up. There's no more escapees.
The peloton doesn't seem to want to let the lead group get away. Some teams must think that there are too many people up front.
The gap is decreasing. The peloton has not given up. The time gap with the head of the race is stable. Time gap stabilized.
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily.
The riders are coming to the first feed zone. The race will then enter a more intense phase, with the appearance of the first short climbs along the riders' route.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
New hill in sight. The Kortekeer, 1,000 metres at 6.4%. No cobblestones on this hill, though. The riders can take advantage of a well-tarmacked road. Another hill, the Wolvenberg. Only 650 metres, but an average slope of almost 8%. At the top, the riders will be straight onto a cobblestone sector that is 1,500 metres long. The front of the race now begins the ascent of the Berendries, 950 metres at 7%. The riders will soon be at the Mecca of cycling, the Muur van Gerardsbergen. Now that it sits far from the finish, its role as final arbiter, found inside the final kilometres, no longer applies. But it still remains a strategic location that could decide the race. The Muur van Gerardsbergen is done for the first riders. They will now tackle a less eventful section. 20 or so kilometres without any hills or classified cobblestone. Sectors.
end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton.
One and a half minutes lead to the head of the race over the favourites. The riders up front have a 1 minute lead on the favourites group. The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometres.
It is not always a good idea to be too many in a breakaway, as the others will not necessarily want to cooperate with us.
We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometres.
His teammates are chasing behind you. They're afraid of you for the stage victory. Facing up to his responsibilities and is making his team ride to reel you in and go for the stage win. Don't relax! Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer. Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy to attack.
Counter-attack at the front of the peloton. Now it's the Paterberg, the shortest hill on the route. Only 360 metres, but also the steepest, with its average slope of 12.9%. Breakaway over. Great stuff! Come on, guys! He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out!
Okay, we'll relay hard.
The riders are at the foot of the daunting Koppenberg. 600 metres at an average of 12% and a maximum slope of 22%. A real wall.
Okay, we'll consume a feed.
Bunched peloton. The race will now take to the final cobblestone sector on the route. It has the particularity of harbouring a hill that sits in the middle of the sector, the Steenbeek Dries.
Allez, courage les gars.
Over-revving. Reduce the tempo or you'll pay the price.
Allez les gars, continue là, plus vite, plus vite. Allez les gars.
Counter-attack at the front of the peloton.
His teammates are chasing behind you. They're afraid of you for the stage victory. He has no more teammates, and he's driving himself to retain his chances of winning the stage.
Allez les gars, courage!
Lâchez rien, allez! Allez les gars! Gut so! Haut rein, Leute! Da kommen sie! Weiter so, Jungs!
The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometres. It won't be long before the riders are at the Kruisberg, the longest hill on the route. That will leave the Oude-Kvaremon-Paterberg sequence on which to land a killer blow before reaching the finishing line in Oudenaarde. The Kruisberg is 2.5 kilometres long, an average of only 5%, but after 240 kilometres in the saddle, it will surely appear too much for many riders. Breakaway over.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
Weiter so, Jungs! Weiter so, Jungs! Come on, guys, go!
Mais
voilà!
Continuez comme ça. Allez les gars. Bravo les gars, c'est bien.
Allez les gars, courage!
Oh, les gars! Allez les gars, courage! Bravo les gars!
Come on guys.
final climb of the Ugekvaremont has begun. Bunched peloton.
Weiter so, Jungs!
Allez les gars, courage!
Ihr schafft, da kommen sie! Haut rein! Gut so!
He's after you because he must be thinking about the stage win. Come on, don't let him catch up.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça!
Allez, go, go, go! Allez, on y va!
The gap between the favourites group and the front is 30 seconds. 30 seconds lead for the head of the race. A lone rider goes over the top of the Ugekvaremont. Now on towards the Paterberg. Often a well-placed sprinter, but rarely a winner, 2018 was a turning point for Elia Viviani. With more than 15 victories under his belt during the season, he became one of the most dominant sprinters in the peloton. The last hill of the day, the Paterberg. At the top, there will be 13 kilometers before the finishing line is reached. At the top of the Paterberg, nobody's been able to put one over on his opponents.
The breakaway will, no doubt, go all the way, lads. But watch out for attacks in the closing kilometers.
Last time checked with the breakaway. 1 minute. He's moving onto the attack.
Ihr schafft das!
5 kilometers for the breakaway. It's going to be nip and tuck with the final small climb.
Da kommen sie! Haut rein!
Counter-attack at the front of the peloton.
The breakaway is under the red pennant. It's going to win.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to one of the main events of the cycling season, the mythical Paris-Roubaix. With its flat terrain and numerous cobbled sectors, this classic offers an atypical route where a rider's condition is as important as luck if he is to hope for victory. As every year, there's likely to be a fierce battle to join the morning breakaway. Indeed, given the vagaries created by the cobblestones, it's not uncommon to see the morning breakaway hold off the favourites for the best part of the race, and sometimes even fight for the podium places. One and a half minutes for the breakaway. It might just work. The time gap with the head of the race is stable. The breakaway is losing ground.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
And we're off. The riders are onto the first sector, number 28, from Traville to Inchy, 2,200 meters of cobblestones. The head of the race is onto the first four-star sector, more than 3,400 meters long and ending in a rising falls flat. Some riders could already be in difficulty. At the end of the next sector, the riders will reach the first feed zone. A few moments of rest before facing the remaining 23 sectors. Here we go again. From Vertin to Saint-Martin-sur-Écaillon, a 2,300 meter sector is awaiting the riders. The next sector is approaching for the front of the race. This is the first in a sequence of 3 sectors that will come one straight after the other, making for almost 6 kilometers of road without tarmac. The breakaway is losing ground. Another 100 kilometers for the front of the race. Tension will soon be at its maximum. With the trench of Arenberg coming up in a few kilometers, now's the time to move to the front. The first riders are leaving the trench of Arenberg. It's time to take stock of the damage and the forces still present to see who will put his stamp on the race. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win. The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
The approaching sector from Wallin to Brillion is 2,400 meters long. When they exit, the riders will have no time for a breather because there's hardly 1 kilometer before they hit the next sector. Bunched peloton. The front of the race is now entering the second feed zone. Then it will be the Beauvry-la-Forêt to Orchy sector that awaits the riders. Sector 13 for the front of the race, 1,400 meters. It's now the turn of the Orchy sector to welcome the riders. 1,700 meters.
peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. They're riding hard behind. This is the moment to relax.
Weiter so, Jungs!
Courage, on continue. Allez.
Kommen Sie! Haut rein!
Sector 11 has begun, 2,700 meters from Auchy-les-Auchy to Bercy.
Haut rein! Weiter, weiter!
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça. Allez les gars,
Weiter so, Jungs! Ankommen Sie! Haut rein! Haltet euch an!
Here we go. Allez les gars, courage. Allez les gars, courage.
Haltet euch ran!
The race is entering the final 50 kilometers, and the next sector is none other than Mont-Pével. Classified as a difficulty 5 and 3 kilometers long, this sector is often described as an ordeal. When it's over, some riders will certainly be eliminated from the list of prospective winners.
On continue comme ça.
Kommen Sie! Haut rein!
Et voilà.
Bunched peloton.
Allez les gars, courage.
The leading riders are now onto a short sector, 700 meters between Mérigny and Avlan.
Allez les gars. Et voilà.
The next sector from Pont-Thibault to Ennevelin is 1,400 meters long and carries a 3-star level of difficulty.
Bravo les gars. Allez les gars. Courage. Bravo les gars.
Haltet euch ran! Gut so! Haut rein!
Continue comme ça. Allez. Les gars, courage. Lâchez-moi.
He has no more teammates, and he's driving himself to retain his chances of winning the stage.
Come on, guys! Haltet euch ran! Come on, guys!
Allez les gars, courage.
Whether on mountain stages or on hills, he's to be taken seriously as he climbs well.
Here we go! Here we go!
A 2-star sector is now on the menu. The difficulty of the sectors will then increase until the Carrefour de l'Arbre.
continue comme ça.
Less than 30 kilometers to go now for the head of the race. And another 6 sectors to cross. The next 2 sectors, classified as 3 stars, are only 1 kilometer apart. The riders won't have time for a breather.
Allez les gars, courage.
Watch out. You're not going to be able to keep up this pace for very long. You'll risk a blow-up.
Bravo les gars,
The riders are now heading towards the Confin-Pivel and Carrefour de l'Arbre sectors, both often proving decisive for final victory.
allez, 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 allez. Lâche rien.
Continue comme ça. Verdammt, Jungs! Ihr schafft es! Nicht nachlassen!
The front of the race is now entering the Confin-Pivel sector. The riders will then head straight onto the Carrefour de l'Arbre, the final 5-star sector in the race.
Allez, plus vite.
Bunched peloton. Now it's the Carrefour de l'Arbre. With its 5-star difficulty, this is the last sector that really provides a chance to hurt one's opponents. Very often, the first rider out of this sector goes on to win in Roubaix. Penultimate sector for the leading riders. There's only 1 sector left for the rider at the front.
Continuez comme ça!
Les voilà.
Lâchez rien! Allez! Allez, continuez comme ça, les gars!
Allez les gars, courage.
Courage!
courage, on continue.
Continuez comme ça. Allez les gars,
Weiter so, Jungs!
Haltet euch ran!
Weiter so! Da kommen sie! Haut rein!
Here's the last sector, 1,400 meters from Willems to Hen. When it's done, there will only be 6 kilometers left before reaching the velodrome.
Here we go. Allez.
Bravo les gars. Allez les gars, allez, go, go, go. Allez, on y va.
Allez les gars, courage!
Da kommen sie!
Ihr schafft das.
Und weiter! Weiter so, Jungs!
Allez les gars, courage.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça!
Haut rein!
Lâchez rien! Allez les gars, courage! Allez les gars!
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
5 kilometers for the breakaway. It'll be tight for the stage victory.
Go, go, go. Allez, on y va. Bravo les gars, c'est bien. Bravo les gars, allez, plus.
The race leaders are into the velodrome. Victory will come down to a sprint. One more lap and it's the finish.
The breakaway is at the red pennant. He's just fallen. That may cost him some time in the overall standings.
Hello and welcome to Belgium for one of the most eagerly awaited classics of the year, Liège-Bastogne-Liège. With its very demanding route that takes in numerous short climbs, this monument is the holy grail for all punchers.
The peloton doesn't seem to want to let the lead group get away. Some teams must think that there are too many people up front.
One and a half minutes for the breakaway. It might just work. It's the first climb of the day, the Côte de la Roche-en-Ardenne. Of course, it's far too early to see an attack by any of the favourites.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
The front of the race is now going through Bastogne, from where the riders turn back towards Liège. There are 150 kilometers left in the race. The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them.
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily.
The riders are now going through Vielsalm, a town that marks a new phase in the race, because from now on, climbs will come one after the other, right to the finish. A new difficulty along the rider's way with the Côte de Vannes. 3.6 kilometers on an average slope of 5.1%.
The breakaway is unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves.
The first riders are beginning the Côte de Stockaux climb. Only 1 kilometre, but the average gradient is over 12%. After more than 170 kilometres, the distance might begin to weigh heavily on some legs.
Okay, I'll protect him.
Last time checked with the breakaway, 1 minute.
Okay, I'm coming to protect you.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
The riders are about to climb the Col du Rosier. At almost 4.5 kilometers, it's the longest ascent on the route. At the top, there will be 60 kilometers to go.
Kommen Sie! Haut rein! Haltet euch ran! Ihr schafft es! Allez, on lâche rien!
Come on, guys! Come on, guys! Yeah, come on! Brilliant, you're really good!
The riders will be able to take a feed and have a quick breather before starting on the final portion of the race and its 4 remaining difficulties: the Col du Maquisard, Côte de la Redoute, Côte des Forges and the Roche au Faucon. The breakaways managing to hold off the peloton. The gap seems to have stabilized. The riders will now drop down towards the renowned Côte de la Redoute, where the supporters of Philippe Gilbert gather to cheer the local hero.
Come on, lads. We'll soon be at La Redoute. Stay up front because it's now and you've got to be well placed. Go on. Hang on in there.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
Allez les gars, on
Weiter
continue
so,
comme ça.
Jungs! Allez, les go!
With its 2 kilometers at almost 9% and sections at 20%, the Côte de la Redoute is a true war. It's a moment to turn the screw or to abandon all hope of victory.
Allez les gars, courage! Courage! On continue!
Okay, I'll follow on the attack.
Allez, go, go, go! Allez, on y va!
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
A lone rider goes over the top of La Redoute. He's got a little under 40 kilometers until the finishing line.
Watch out. You'll soon have no more energy for an attack. Your opponents are upping the pace to hold off the peloton.
Weiter so, Jungs! Haltet euch an! Weiter so, Jungs! Haut rein!
There are 2 obstacles left on the menu. The Côte des Forges and the Côte de la Roche au Faucon.
Haltet euch ran! Gut so! Macht Dampf, Jungs!
Okay, I'm coming to protect you.
Allez, les gars! Bravo, les gars! Courage! On continue!
Okay, I'm coming to protect you.
penultimate difficulty of the day for the peloton, the Côte de Forge. He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out. Counter-attack at the front of the peloton.
Here we go!
There's only the Roche of Faucon to be climbed, and no rider has managed to shake off his opponents. The suspense is overwhelming.
Continuez comme ça!
Oh, yes, come on, guys!
Continue, courage.
Yeah, great stuff.
Continue comme ça.
We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometers.
Lâchez rien, les gars!
The Roche of Faucon is an ideal climb on which to place a decisive attack. However, it requires a sustained effort to avoid falling away on the falls flat that leads to the descent into Liège.
Allez, on y va! Allez, plus vite!
Okay, looking super fit.
He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out.
His team is after you because he's surely aiming for the stage win. Go do your utmost.
Breakaway over. He's trying to get out. Watch out. The Roche of Faucon didn't see any rider make a getaway, but there's still a long rising falls flat on which to edge clear. If that doesn't do it, it's likely to be decided in a sprint.
He's got his team riding because he's a favorite for the stage. You should get rid of him.
The road is now free of climbs. The riders will soon be onto the big boulevards, and so it will be almost impossible to surprise one's opponents.
Here we go!
Allez, les gars!
Allez, allez, foncez, foncez!
Haut rein, Leute!
Allez, les gars, on continue comme ça!
Gut so! Haut rein, Leute!
It is not always a good idea to be too many in a breakaway, as the others will not necessarily want to cooperate with us.
Now it's downhill to the finish. The sprint looks inevitable. He's turning the screw. He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out. Final kilometre. Victory will be decided in the sprint.
Over revving. Reduce the tempo or you'll pay the price.